Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. I'm Francisco, and I'm here with my fellow dragon rider, Andres. We have a lot of cool things to talk about today. The dragons are here. Tons of news. Also, we watched some cool shit, and we have another double feature for you guys. All right, let's start the show. Andres, what's up, my friend?
What's up, man? It's been a little bit.
Yeah. How them dragons?
They're all right. You know what's funny is, like you were saying earlier, like there's a lot of stuff on the list that we usually talk about stuff beforehand, just because we're always talking about everything, and there's some stuff we haven't really get a chance to talk to. So this will be we'll be going to that territory for the first time.
Yeah.
Here,
might be some fucking hot takes.
Could be. We'll see what happens. One quick thing.
Don't fuck up.
Dude, you talking to yourself right there. It should be echoing into your ears. I think we might be having some audio issues again. We'll see when we're in post, so apologies if it's so, but if not, I hope our beautiful golden voices are keeping everyone's ears warm. All right.
Yes.
Let's see how this goes.
Just rest in my beautiful accent.
Yes.
And you'll be good.
Yeah. If you could figure out what he's trying to say half the time. All right.
Ouch.
Let's get to some news, man.
All right. Let's do this. All right, man. The Boys season 4 officially started filming this week. Man,
how cool is that?
So happy about that. Good. Let's do it.
It's like there's hope for next year. I'm guessing that, summertime, it'll be back.
Yeah.
And
man, they left. It was such a good season. Best season so far.
Best season.
So I'm excited.
Considering how they bounced back from that iffy season 2, and season 3 is amazing for the most part. Season 4 should be off the wall. Looking forward to that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that was like my
Yeah.
So that was dope. I just wanted to share that because we both love The Boys.
Yeah. Right. No, that's cool.
What up?
All right. This is interesting. Avatar re-released in theaters, pulled from Disney Plus.
Yeah. That was like number one, I didn't even know they're re-releasing it. I saw like on James Cameron's Instagram, he was like, "Oh, by the way, this is back in theaters." Like, I think you gotta let people know in advance. Number one, if you're gonna throw something in theaters, they might want to make a plan. And number two, they pulled it from Disney because they want people to go to the theaters. Like, who's gonna do that? I think maybe like a handful. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I think they're trying to it's more of a marketing thing to get people pumped up for the sequels. But you know what people get people pumped up for the sequels? Getting them pumped up for a sequel, like with a trailer or some marketing or something, anything.
Yeah,
that's gonna help. So this movie comes out like in 3 or 4 months, and it's pretty much been crickets.
Yeah, we gotta start seeing some footage soon. They released that one trailer earlier this year, but other than that, I'm like, I want to see some more water shit or what's going on. Let's do this.
What happens.
Like, don't. I hope it's not a water world. Like,
hey, don't you dare talk about water world that way.
Hey, all right, no bullshit. That movie has aged pretty good.
That movie's good. That's
like at first that was like stupid water world, but now it's like, hey, give me them gills. Let's do this.
I remember walking into the theater and I was like, that was really cool. And like before the movie came out, I had all this negative press. I'm like, what are these? It's all just like this weird tribal mentality. I'm like, just shut the fuck up, let it speak for itself. And I like Waterworld. I love the show at Universal Studios. Like, that show is awesome. Wow, we got
what off topic, but Waterworld is one of my wife's favorite movies. So
dude,
that too.
Dude, I think the movie's awesome. All right, let's get off that topic. So Avatar.
Moving forward, BioShock movies getting made for Netflix. Man, I remember that show, that movie. That game. The
game was awesome.
Yeah,
I love the style. It was such it was one of the first games that had like this unique noir / throwback neo-classical 1960s. Like what is this? Like the music,
some slight steampunk kind of shit.
It was like, what is this? And it was a gorgeous game and idea. And they've been trying to make a movie out of this for like at least 10 or 15 years. And it looks like
Yeah.
Netflix finally is going ahead, and Francis Lawrence is going to direct it. I think next year.
Hmm.
So I'm like, cool. That dude directed I Am Legend, and he directed Constantine, like two I think really solid films.
I thought another guy directed I Am Legend.
No, it's Francis Lawrence.
Wasn't it the guy from The Crow?
No, no, Alex
What's that
Alex
guy's name?
Proyas.
Yeah.
No, he
Okay.
yeah. So he directed the other Will Smith film. Alex Proyas directed I Robot.
Okay.
So there you go. But yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully this movie's gonna be good. And they have,
Yeah, I hope
and
so.
he's shooting that freaking, what is that, Mockingbird, that Hunger Games sequel prequel thing right now. So
Hmm.
this movie's not going to be filmed for a while. So I hope they're building some really awesome sets and all that stuff because it all takes place underwater.
Yeah. I hope they're working on the script.
God, I hope so. All right,
Yeah.
what else we got next?
All right. Moving on. A little show got renewed. I mean, after one episode. House of the Dragon renewed for season 2 after one episode, man. What do you think about that?
Apparently, it broke the internet for a little bit, or their app like crashed because everyone was watching House of Dragon. Does that mean it was that good, or everyone was just really hurting for some new Game of Thrones? We'll talk about our review of House of Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably a little really soon here. But yeah, I mean, that shows confidence, and that gives me confidence to watch the show further. I'm like, okay, they have a plan.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. So pretty cool news. Another thing that we got is it James Wan or who is this?
Oh man, what is this dude's name? The direct guy who directed most, yeah, all of the WandaVision shows. He is Matt Shakeman. He is now in talks to direct the Fantastic Four film for Marvel.
Oh, okay.
So he's good. He directed a bunch of Game of Thrones, some of the best episodes. He directed some other stuff. Like he's legit good. And he wrote and directed all of WandaVision, which when you look at it as a whole, really good. And this
Yeah.
this dude's
No,
a,
they had some really
yeah.
cool shots in there and sets and it was I mean technically it was done at a high quality.
Yeah, he's also like the director of like one of the main theaters in LA. So he's like a theater guy who's kind of switched over to film.
Mm,
So he understands character and blocking and how to get like how to make things interesting and bring you into it. So I'm like, dude, this guy's good. What's
yeah.
crazy is John Watts, the director of the latest three Spider-Man films, was supposed to be in tap to direct the Fantastic Four movie. Then he dropped out. I don't recall why reasons, but so they looking for a guy. And this guy might be the guy. This dude's awesome. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm glad that it's not John Watts. Not the I mean, there was good and bad from those Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
movies, but it'd be nice to have somebody with a new perspective to another Marvel entry. We don't need to have the same shit all the time. It's already like formulaic at some points. So let's get somebody else in there.
Plus, I think
And
we both agreed that the last Spider-Man film was not that great.
yeah,
So it'd
no,
be
yeah, it had
nice.
a lot of plot
A
holes.
lot, dude. Oh my god. Anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of cool. Hopefully he gets the job and it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? This last one's fun.
Oh man, I'm excited about this shit because I love monster shit. Uh, Godzilla versus King Kong 2 in production. Damn, I'm excited.
I'm super stoked. Like the Godzilla versus Kong, I loved it. I couldn't believe how much I'm
Yeah,
like just these two dudes going at it. Like it was everything I wanted like Pacific Rim to be in
yeah,
it. And this delivered. I mean, don't turn your brain on too high. Just sit back and
yeah,
enjoy it. But like the destruction and the fights and the ideas and cinematography and execution,
yeah,
it was a great looking film. The designs for
yeah,
like all these different environments and like the battles were fucking legit. Top to
yeah,
bottom, this film was like badass.
yeah,
So yeah, another one, bring it. I'm
yeah.
excited.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, I don't want to throw too much shade at some characters' choices, but man, when they were fighting the monsters, they were badass.
Super
So I'm
badass.
excited for that. So I'm excited for that too.
Dude, yeah, so that's dope.
All right, moving on, man. But that was a lot of
Yeah,
news.
it's fun.
Let's get into some shit that we watched.
Yeah.
All right, all right. First up, we got House of the Dragon. I've watched 2 episodes, and you've watched
One.
uno. All right, so we'll just talk about the first one.
Yeah, you could.
Overall thoughts and
All
feelings.
right, so yeah, we're not going to give any spoilers.
Yeah,
We talked a little earlier, and I think I agree with your assessment of it was good enough to bring me back for a second episode.
yeah.
Like I wasn't like, this is amazing. Like
Hmm.
I think the biggest issue I had with it was mostly talking. It was a talky episode, which is how it needed to be because introducing all the characters. But what they did is they hired this dude to direct it, Miguel Spacek. I always get his name wrong. He directed all the big fight scenes like Hard Home,
Hmm.
Battle of the Bastards. Like he directed all the massive action Game of Thrones episodes that
Yeah,
were amazing. But when he had to now when they took all his action away and just gave him like some talking, I thought it was kind of flat and kind of dull. Like it was a little dull.
yeah. Yeah, you hit it right on the head. And I watched the second episode, so I'm a little further ahead of
Yeah.
you. And you know,
Did it pick up?
it's cool, but it's the same. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of small council shit going
Yeah.
on. Like these people talk, and I don't know if it's just like they need to get all this exposition out, and like get everything situated. But they're also, one little thing I'll tell you about the second
Yeah.
episode is like it's 6 months after. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
So I know that going into this season, that they're gonna put a lot of time into a small season. It's not gonna be like Game of Thrones where, they kind of dragged some things out, for the time, but in this first season of House of the Dragon, they're gonna have grown up actors playing some of these characters. So we're only gonna see like the young version of these people for a few episodes, and then we're gonna get the adult versions. So they're kind of blowing through time.
Oh.
So we're gonna get exposition, a lot of exposition. We're gonna get like all the shit that needs to be talked about. So later on,
Got the
when
get the
we're
payoffs.
yeah, we get the payoffs because this person did that fucked up thing to this person when they were kids or younger, or that kind of shit.
All right.
So
I'm down with that actually. That's
yeah,
thoughtful.
yeah. So they're focused on this, like in this room talking, like you said, it's a bit talky, but, and then we'll get some really cool payoffs later on.
All right. I mean, I'm still in. It's enough.
Yeah,
And so I'm hoping that I know it's gonna be different, and that's cool. So we'll just
yeah.
keep going with it. It just felt like they have so many cool sets and costumes and they didn't take
The
advantage.
production value is
But
insane.
I didn't like how the camera, like how it was moving and lighting stuff.
Mm,
It should have shown like so much more interesting stuff. Like visually, it just wasn't as interesting as it could have been. And I'm
yeah,
like,
it wasn't cinematic enough,
no,
right?
there was a lack of cinematic. Yeah, it was totally it was
Yeah,
just like it
yeah.
went down a notch from the
It went to TV show
yes
instead of being like
a
instead
film.
of being a world.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like let's move, let me put this in a little box.
yeah,
I get what you're
yeah,
saying. I
yeah.
mean that makes
That's
sense.
exactly
I
you
mean,
nailed it.
yeah, there's a cool scene in the second episode where you're like you'll be like, oh yeah, daddy, that's what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying? It's I think we're grinding through these um things where we just need to sit down and listen to what's going on
All right.
for like one or two episodes.
All right, that's fine. They'll keep me going. Here's my only other thing was I was talking to Christina. I'm like, so the first we rewatched all the Game of Thrones like a couple years ago. The first episode of Game of Thrones is such a freaking good episode because at the you introduce all the characters, you introduce even the White Walkers and the supernatural crazy shit. Like, what is this threat? What is the wall? Who are all these people? What's this person running from? Who are these people? Who's related to who? Oh, damn, Ned Stark's got to cut a dude's head off because he has to do the right thing, protect his lands, blah, blah, blah. And then, out of obligation, he doesn't feel good about it, the family dynamics. And then it ends. It ends on like little Bran climbing up a wall, walking in on a brother and sister being very intimate with each other. And then Jamie walks over to the thing and casually attempts to murder a little boy, throws him out of a fucking like 60-story window. And that's how they
Yeah,
end the first episode. Like that episode is packed.
yeah,
I'm like, oh my God. And in this episode, it's got a lot of, they give this episode a lot of room to breathe, the first episode of House of Dragon. So I was kind of hoping for more of like some insanity, but all
yeah.
right, I'll take it.
Yeah, more to come.
Cool. All right, let's move
All
on.
right, man. All right, and your Hulu exploration, you've moved on to Only Murders in the Building,
Yeah,
season one.
yeah,
I've seen this as well, so I saw it when it came out last year. Um, really cool, nice little surprise of a show, you know. The cast, I love the cast. You know, Steve Martin, uh, Selena Gomez, and Martin Short. I mean, it's kind of a weird trifecta, you know, but it worked out. It worked out. What do you think? How do you feel?
man, we were like super hooked. Like number one, the cast, like Steve Martin and Martin Short together. I'm like, hell yeah. And what I loved is like for the most of the season, they're not friends. Like they're just kind of like want to keep each other's distance, which is like a fun dynamic to watch dudes who you know are probably friends in real life. Like but they did Three Amigos together. Like
Yeah,
how awesome is that? And these guys are back. And then Selena Gomez, I don't know anything about her. So this is the first time I think I've
yeah,
seen her on screen or saying. I didn't even know what she sounded like. So I was like, oh, she
yeah.
has a kind of a cool voice, and I really liked her. I thought she was a great like opposite casting of these two dudes. So I was like, this is cool. This keeps it like
Yeah,
fresh and interesting, and they both kind of like
yeah.
contrast each other in like really well complementary ways. I'm like, this is good. And as far as the show goes, like the story is like every episode is interesting. Every episode
Mm,
peels back some more layers of like what's going on, what's going on. Like they really, really thought this whole season out really well.
hmm.
Like they set up everything, and it was so much fun. What were your thoughts on it?
I agree. It's like the contrast is the key word because it kind of brings two worlds together. You know, like it's two completely different generations. You know, and there's a gap in between, and I think that's where you and I land in the gap in
Yeah,
between. We're not, you know, as old as Steve Martin and them, and then we're not as young as Selena. So I kind of like they did a great job of bridging the gap and then making it entertaining for us because um, they have pretty good chemistry, really good
yeah. It
chemistry.
was just fun to always watch them together.
Yeah, and yeah, as far as the story goes, they did a good job. I couldn't I like it when I don't figure it out or I don't guess it or I don't, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you know, I don't know what's going
yeah,
on. I mean, I know what's going on, but I can't be like, oh, this is predictable. This is that.
yeah.
So that's what I enjoyed the most of it. It was kind of like, I'm like, damn, I can't figure this shit out.
No,
So it was pretty cool. I
and
liked
there's
it.
stuff like I don't even really think you're meant to. I think you're meant to just go along for the ride because there's some stuff that
Yeah,
kind of gets peeled back towards the end. You're like, oh, they
yeah,
drop a ton of breadcrumbs that don't lead anywhere just because to keep you in it. It's more about every episode is interesting. I think the season as a whole,
yeah,
it all goes together, but you don't really need it because each episode is so damn entertaining and it has like a purpose
yeah,
and it kind of just keeps going. And mostly these guys, they're basically idiots for the most part. Like they are
yeah,
not good at what they do, and they just kind of like fall into things and fall out of things per episode. And it's really
yeah.
funny to watch them just fumble around.
Yeah, and that's their style, man. That's like Steve Martin and Martin Short's style. Just like you know, happy go lucky, like just falling into things, like literally tripping into the scenes and literally just walking in on things,
Yeah,
and they excel at that kind of thing. So yeah, good show, man. Glad you watched it, and I'm glad you liked it.
yeah.
Season two's on board, I guess,
We're
on
halfway.
the deck.
We're halfway through season two already,
Oh damn, I
and
need to get on that
we won't.
shit.
And then, but the cool thing is, they announced season three is going to start shooting pretty soon.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's cool
I'm
too.
glad it's not out because we probably watch that next. So we need some space here.
Oh yeah, and on season three, did you read who's coming on?
I did. I didn't want to. I guess it's not a big spoiler if we say it's public. Go for it.
Oh yeah,
Who is it,
Mr. Paul Rudd.
dude?
I like that, man.
I think
It's gonna be exciting.
I hope he plays against character. How cool would that be?
Yeah, yeah, dude, I'm excited. Paul Rudd, man. Something about that guy, man. He knows how to do it.
Dude, he's timeless. I'm super stoked for
Yeah,
him. All right,
and
man.
he might be
Yeah.
an alien because he doesn't age.
Oh
So
no, he's definitely that.
yeah. Okay, up next, I got a little show on HBO Max. It's an animated show, and my brother-in-law, shout out to Dave. What's up, Dave? Um, told me that I need to watch this, and it's called Primal. It's an animated show, and it's like a caveman in the it's a caveman show. He's a
Hmm.
caveman, and I've the first sitting. Matthew and I watched 5 episodes, bro,
Damn.
and they're like 20-minute episodes or whatever, Um, it's so compelling, bro, and
Shit.
it's like if you wanna, this guy. Let me get this guy's name. I'm gonna try to say his name. Gendy Tartovsky.
Oh,
Tartovsky.
Kennedy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a great
Yeah,
director. He's been around for like 20 years. Did Samurai Jack?
yeah, yeah. Samurai Jack. Well, so Primal, man, bro. I can't even like this. I don't want to spoil it,
Okay.
but it's just like really well done, and it's got like this the way they frame the animation and like they tell the story. I tell you what, the guy's a caveman, right?
Hmm.
And cavemen don't speak English. So there has been exactly in 5 episodes, there's zero dialogue.
Holy shit.
So and it's just but it's telling the story and just like sucked in. And like right away, like Matthew and I would just look at each other like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? Because it's like people are in peril, things are happening, like and you like develop this bond and you just hang on for the ride, dude. So it's definitely 100% not for kids.
Okay.
If you're
I'm
if
glad you're
they're
watching it with your kid though.
yeah, but he's 15 technically. Yeah. I mean, dude, like he watches nothing but scary shit. Like this is
All
nothing,
right.
you know. Um,
Now that we've established that you don't have to let child protective services know.
yeah. If it's not horror, he doesn't want to watch it. But anyways, I have to force him to watch other stuff. Uh, Primal is not for kids, but it's so captivating and well done. And man, you check out, dude. All you got to do is check out one episode, 20 minutes, and you'll be hooked. So that's the show,
All right.
HBO Max, Primal.
Dude,
There's two
I'm
seasons.
gonna put that on my list right now. That sounds awesome. I love
Yeah,
animate I
man,
like well
super cool.
animated stuff.
Yeah, the style is crazy.
All right. Done.
Okay, moving forward,
Thanks.
we got Hunt for Red October
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah, it was random, man. Last on Friday night, or I don't remember how I even came to it. I was like, I just saw it in my Netflix queue. I was like, hey, have you watched Red October? Christina was like, I think I'm not sure. I'm like, if you're not sure, then we're gonna watch it right now to be sure. And damn it, this movie has aged almost perfectly. Like, it is so good. And it's a dense film. Every scene is like leads to the next scene, leads to the next thing. It's very technical in just all these areas, and they don't hand you like the answers to everything as you go forward. You have to kind of like earn it and pay attention. Like, what the hell's going on with these guys? Those guys, the stakes are insanely high with a nuclear Russian submarine trying to make a run for the coast of
Yeah.
America. Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? No one really knows quite. But man, there's so many cool, just technical details because it's based on a book from Tom Clancy, who's Mr. Technical Guy.
Hmm.
And this is the first time the Jack Ryan character was on screen, later played by Harrison Ford, and then I think Ben Affleck, and then Chris Pine to a degree. So it's got legacy, and this is the first.
And now John Krasinski.
Oh, that's who. Yeah, John Krasinski. Holy crap! So Jack Ryan, that guy just lives on. But man, the cinematography. Well, let's talk about the director. Um, John McTiernan, director of Die Hard, directed this. I'm like, holy shit! So this film looks gorgeous, and it's got tense. It's tense. And it's shot by John Dabont, who also shot Die Hard. So it's going to be a hell of a good looking film. And John Dabont, the cinematographer, goes on to direct Speed and Twister and a couple others later in life. So this guy's legit. So these guys are just like a heavy hit crew, and they got it done. Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin are the main stars with the hell of a supporting cast.
Scott
So
Glenn.
Scott Glenn is so good. He's so understated.
Pat,
He's so calm.
yeah. What's the other guy's name? Neil.
Sam Neill.
Uh,
Sam Neill is in it.
Sam
Courtney
Neill. Yeah, Sam
Courtney
Neill.
Vance is like one of my favorite characters. Is Jonesy. Um,
Mm.
it's so good. There's every person cast in this film is like a character. Some of them don't even have lines. You can just look at them like this guy's got stories.
Yeah,
Like it's
dude, that's an amazing movie. I watched it like 6 months ago, and I was just like, damn, this is like it got me in a little submarine kick. I watched that, then I watched Crimson Tide, and I was like,
yeah.
dude, this is like perfect together.
The,
But yeah, man, Run for Red October. It's like you said, beautifully shot. Like it's a film, dude. It's like
yeah.
everything's so sharp and like well done, and
The sets
man,
are
it's a great film.
it just feels authentic from start to stop, like the whole thing.
Yeah,
You're just like,
yeah,
damn, it's just textured out so good. I would say though, I would say at the end of the film, there's the last sequence of the film looks terrible. Like it did not hold up. Like there's this bad green screens, and you're just like, oh, that's how they're gonna end it. Like back in the day, you didn't know, but now it's all HD and perfect. You can see
yeah.
there's literally like a hole in Alec Baldwin's head that you can see the background through as they're talking and having this serious conversation because it's not a good job. And I'm like, oh, you're killing me. But by that point,
Mm,
the movie's already over. They're just having a nice little heart to heart. But I mean, shit.
yeah,
Other than that, the movie's damn near flawless.
yeah. It's a great movie,
It's on
man.
Netflix, man. Check it out. Put it on your list. All right.
All right.
Your favorite section trailers.
Yeah, I love trailers
All right.
because most of the time you don't fucking watch them, but you did this
I
time.
think I put almost all these
Uh,
down.
no, you definitely did. All right. First one up is Lou, starring Allison Janney
Yeah.
and Journey Smollett. And it looks pretty cool, man. It's kind of like a throwback, kind of
Yeah.
uh, one of those 90s type movies, you know?
Yeah. Simple.
Yeah.
Survival. You stumbled into the wrong woods. Now I got to hunt you down kind of situation.
Yeah. A little River Wild, a little The Edge, a little like, is she like a trained ex CIA agent? What's going on?
Yeah.
I liked it, man.
And Allison Janney, who's playing against type, she's usually like, number one, she's one of our favorite actresses. She just brings it in
Yeah, she's
every
great.
role. In this film,
Yeah.
she's like doing action for I think the first time. And I was like,
Yeah.
shit, this looks fucking cool.
Yeah, she's bitch slapping people. I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
So I'm Lou. It's called Lou. It's coming on Netflix.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes
Looks
out for
cool.
Lou. Also on Netflix. What's the next one?
All right. This is a little interesting. Slumberland, starring Jason Momoa, and on Netflix. A little fantasy action for you. What'd you think?
It looks interesting. I think it might get a little too kiddie at some point, like a little too fantasy, and it might just fall away from a story. But it looks like it's like a kid who goes into like dreamland, and his
Mhm.
guide is Jason Momoa, who's like in this crazy get up, guiding him through like dreams. And it's a big
Mhm.
fantasy. Look like they spent some money.
Yeah.
Not really sure what the story is other than that, but I think
Yeah.
if it gets good reviews or decent reviews, it'd be worth checking out. And Jason Momoa is
Yeah.
always fun.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna tell you. Is that like you have like two different trailers right here, where in Lou we get a little bit of the plot, maybe not the whole plot, but like, hey, okay, we're doing this, and then Slumberland, that I was like, oh, it's really whimsical, and I'm like, but what are we doing? What's the point? What's going on? No, no plot, no nothing, man. And I get it. Sometimes trailers are just about the visuals, but I guess it didn't grab me enough. So we'll see. Like I said, if it's good word of mouth, then I'll I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's middle low on the list for Slumberland. Lou was high on the list just because Allison Janney's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, looks badass.
All
All
right,
right, next,
next one.
Sam Mendes, Empire of the Light. I gotta say, I got really excited when I watched this. I
It
was
look
like,
it
damn,
looks good.
it looks really good, dude.
He
I'm like, oh man, this guy don't miss.
he doesn't, and I want to say Roger Deakins I think is a cinematographer,
His,
so it's
yeah,
gonna
his,
be I don't care whatever it is. What he filmed. I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be gorgeous. And these two
yeah,
together are pretty much home run hitters, like every time.
yeah. And again, I'm not clear what the story's gonna be, but it looked beautiful.
It looks like it's like a love letter to films in like
Yeah, yeah,
1950s London, something like that. Like
Yeah.
they again they didn't really uh reveal the story too much, just the visuals and who's in it, and they kind of like set the tone, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"What's up?" And yeah, it looks really good.
It
Empire of Light,
looks gorgeous.
yeah. So
All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too, man. I can't wait. That's gonna be a definite
Huge
IMAX.
top of the list right there.
Yeah. Next up, I was surprised by this trailer because I didn't even know. I thought it was gonna be the other person directing it,
Mm-hmm.
but Mr. Zemeckis is directing Pinocchio for Disney Plus. It's going straight to Disney Plus.
Yeah. Um,
Crazy.
and what's crazy is there's another trailer for another Pinocchio film going to
Yeah,
Netflix, directed by Guillermo del Toro, but that one
a
is
little different.
just a little.
If you want to get the shit scared out of you, go watch the one.
If nightmares are your thing.
Yeah. If you want to not sleep, go watch the one that Guillermo del Toro directing. This one is, I mean, it looks cool and everything, but it's like, oh, it's, it's Pinocchio.
What's trippy is it looks like they literally took the cartoon and like frame by frame just made it live action. Like
Yeah.
it looks exactly like the design to the Pinocchio is the exact
Yeah.
design, and I was like, huh. Like they're not even
Because,
trying to like deviate and put like an original touch. They're just like, nope.
yeah. Because at one point in the trailer, there's the whale shot, right? And I'm like, they put teeth on the fucking whale like in the cartoon. but, but I guess.
And, and
Oh, man.
and it mostly stars Tom Hanks as Geppetto. Um, it looks like it has a cool cast. Visually, it looks good. Like the my only concern though is Robert Zemeckis hasn't really made a good film in like
Yeah.
15 years, maybe. So I'm hesitant. I'm curious. Could maybe Disney help shepherd him in like a direction? Because when he gets to just do his own thing 100%, it just kind of he's been missing for the last 15 plus years.
And I got to say, Disney Plus, they're about making money. And them just sending it to Disney Plus, like, I mean, Disney would is about making money. So I thought they would like, oh, for the holidays, come watch it in the theaters, at least
Yeah,
a limited release.
yeah.
But man, this shit's going straight to Disney Plus. It makes me a little, the
Little
cynical side of me
little
is like,
iffy.
whoa, yeah, what's going on?
I'm definitely more
But
interested in the Guillermo del Toro one just because it looks so visually different.
yeah. And is that too scary for you, Mija? Are you gonna are you
Dude,
gonna watch the Guillermo del Toro one?
it's stop motion.
Are
How
you,
how scary can stop motion get?
I don't know, man. Mister Scary Pants.
I think we'll be okay.
All right, make
Uh,
sure you leave the lights on.
and oh yeah, here before we get to our double feature, which is next, I have to give a
Mhm.
birthday shout out to my friend Jackaris, whose birthday is literally today. And by the time this episode airs, it'll be happy belated birthday to Mr. Jackaris, one of our longtime listeners. So there you go.
Happy birthday!
If you listen to our show, we'll give you a shout out. How amazing is that?
Yeah, there you go.
Got high production values here.
That's how we do it.
High production
Feliz
values
cumpleaños.
and low standards. Here we go.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, man. So fire away.
All right. This week on our double feature, we got back to school, man. Kids are going back to school. College back in school. We got, what do we got? Back to school.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's my
Go
back to
first.
school?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I wasn't sure what you were gonna choose, so I have two backup ones. But you know what? I'm gonna choose a classic. This is like a school film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really back to school. It's like trying to leave school, but you can't. It's just a classic, fun '80s. I
Uh-huh.
watched this film probably like a dozen times when I was a kid, and
Uh-huh.
this movie is Summer School,
Summer school. I remember that one.
starring Mark Harmon and Christy Alley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
Christy Alley.
it's
Yeah.
such a funny, ridiculous '80s film. I haven't watched it in probably the last 15 years, so I don't know how it's aged,
Yeah.
but it's got a great cast. It's got a fun idea of it's these handful of kids that have to graduate, but they need to go to summer school to get that last credit because they're all a bunch of like screw ups in their own way. and Mark Harmon is like a PE teacher, and he gets wrangled into having to teach summer school because he was like one of the last ones in school trying to run out of there. And Kirstie Alley is like another teacher, but she's teaching like the AP smart kids who want to be there. So you have those two different worlds, and Mark Harmon does not want to be there, and he figures out how to like let's start going on field trips every day. So they're going to the beach, they're going to the amusement park, like they're trying to do anything they can do to just not be at school. And it's a funny film, man. Like it's just
Yeah.
classic '80s funny film, and each of the characters has their own little personality that bring to the class, so it's fun.
Yeah. That's a good choice. I was gonna go because I have a couple serious ones, but I'm not gonna do serious. I'm gonna go just you know probably one of the best comedies of this century. Super bad. I'm going super bad. They're leaving school.
Oh,
They're gonna go to college, but man, super bad is so funny, dude. And I remember watching that. I was like, man, this is hilarious. The cops, McLovin, so many things came out of that movie, man. It's crazy.
dude, and the story was who was it? Seth Rogen and
They were trying to hook up. Oh yeah, they wrote
his
it. Yeah,
his writer, yeah, they were working on it for like 10 years, that script. Like it was like they were
yeah,
going in and out, and finally they hooked up with Judd Apatow, and he kind of like helped shepherd it, and it worked. And I was like,
yeah,
holy shit.
yeah, yeah. That. How hard did you laugh at the theater, man?
Dude, it was pretty awesome. What was really cool, I mean, we laughed a lot, and it was in the theater. I
Yeah.
watched it when I was still living in LA, and I didn't realize like they shot in my neighborhood. So as we were
Oh,
watching
really?
the theater, we were watching the movie in the theater in my neighborhood. The first opening scene takes place literally in front of the comic book store I was going to every whatever once a month for like years, and I was like, "What the shit?" And I was like literally standing in front of my comic book store in LA, and I was like, "Holy shit!" So I was like, that was a big like, whoa! And like they filmed it all down the street, like all the streets, everything. You're like, yeah, I've driven down all these streets. And then at the very end, the last scene is it takes place in a mall that's like right down the street, and literally like half the people in the theater, because it was pretty much a sold out crowd. As soon as that shot of the mall comes up, everyone's hand comes up and points to the screen. Like, that's the mall. Like, I even my dumb ass was pointing to the screen. Like, what the fuck else are we gonna be pointing at? Like, duh. And it was they're like,
Did you want some
hey,
royalties or what? You wanted some royalties?
something.
You
Yeah.
own the city?
I was like,
Calm down.
I've been on the elevator. I walked down that little fucking way. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
so that was cool. But that movie's fucking hilarious, man. That movie's launched some careers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some people are still eating lunch from that movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's like the one thing they did.
But
but
dude, Emma
but yeah,
Stone, that
man, that
was
movie's
yeah, Emma
yeah, Emma
Stone. I think that
Stone.
was her big first leading role, and she's got an Oscar under her belt now. I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's leading, bro. Like she's not even in the movie. She's in like 4 scenes.
Okay, that was her biggest role to the date.
She had Mean Girls before that, I thought.
Emma Stone was not in Mean Girls.
No?
No,
Easy
not
A.
Easy A. Yeah,
Easy A. Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. My
But yeah,
bad.
but yeah, that movie's hilarious, man. And Bill Hader and Seth Rogen is like the worst cops ever. It's so funny,
Hilarious.
and I
Dude.
love, and all like the Judd Apatow regulars all show up and like just doing their
Yeah.
thing. You're just like, what the hell?
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. I'm just trying to like there's so many jokes. It's like you can't like separate it. Like the dick joke, like like the whole I can't stop drawing dicks and oh man, I was crying when that happened.
It's in Jonah Hill just being pretty much like the shittiest of all three. Was this pretty
Oh
funny?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
man, and then he
He was
comes
pretty
out,
selfish.
yeah, and he starts crying at the end. You're like, all right, stop being a little shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They
the
would do
movie,
he would do anything to get his way, man. He put like the beer in like a soap dispensers or soap bottles and it's
yeah,
like oh
it was
fucking
drinking it, and he was trying
dude,
to
that shit
impress
is
people.
not
I'm
gonna
like,
work.
you're gonna be in the toilet for days, buddy.
Yeah.
But
Man, that's
whatever,
pretty
man.
funny.
Um, you know what? Here's a backup one. Actually, a better one to actually go with that one because I didn't know what you were doing, man. Um, Can't Hardly Wait as another school film. That's like it takes place on the last day of school, even though I think we're on the
Yeah.
first day of school here. That movie from the '90s, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ethan Embry. That movie's awesome. Like it's so good how it breaks down every character trope of like the hot girl, the hot jock, the nerds, the in between, the musicians, the artists, the whoever's. Like every group is like represented at this house party in one evening, and everything just kind of goes to shit, and they kind of peel things back, and everyone has like a moment, and it's interesting. And then they deal with the whole like ramifications of that night, the morning after with some folks, and you're just like,
Mm.
it's way better than that movie's like 10 times better than it should be. And it's so well shot. And like the writing is funny. And they're all like, you get where all these characters are coming from. And it's really funny. And it just kind of breaks down all these ideas of high school and just strips them down to like, you're just fucking people. Stop trying to be this other thing to impress everyone else. And
Yeah.
that movie was just hilarious. So I can't hardly wait. I don't even know if that's on streaming. I got to look that one up. But yeah, I remember seeing that in theaters and laughing my ass off.
Damn, I don't remember that one. I'm pretty sure I watched it, but because Jennifer Love Hewitt was really popular
Yeah.
for a moment there.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, it's a great cast. Great cast.
All right.
Shit. Is that our show for this week?
I think that's it, man. I think we covered everything we got. We got covered a lot, that's for sure.
Dude, we smashed through a ton of stuff quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Any final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to the next Game of Thrones episode, like you said. Probably gonna smash through season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. And us, I
Yeah.
love the format of that show. It's so funny how they incorporate the idea of a podcast. Like every episode is kind
Yeah.
of like the idea of a podcast. I'm like, that's so clever. And they
Mhm.
take a lot of the tropes from like the true crime podcast and put it into the show. I'm like, fuck, this show's funny.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
But yeah,
Yeah, I want to get through this Primal, finish this this cartoon that's got me wrecked, and see what happens with it. There's 2 seasons. We've only watched 5 episodes, so
yeah, it's gonna be cool for
we
you.
got to crank through some of that.
That's awesome. All
All
right.
right.
Yeah, that's
If you
it.
guys like what you listen to, please like and subscribe and leave comments or recommendations,
Yeah,
and
please.
let us know if we're missing something. I mean, we'd love to talk about it if we can watch it. With that being said, I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
All right, time to go fly some dragons.
And this was, yeah, not before we say, and this was, put it on the list.
That's my dragon. That's my little weak ass dragon.
That's a weak dragon. That's a small dragon coming from a big dude.
I didn't want to scream in the microphone.
You should have.
And
All right.
your little ears.
Oh, all right. We're out.